Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. In this video, I'd like to share with you 10 things. 10 things that will change your thinking. Having the clarity on these 10 things will help you learn better. Having those 10 things in your life will help you think better, will help you learn better. Let's start the lesson. If you could have these 10 things in your life, it should make your learning easy. It should make your learning better. So let's start with one. Number one is to stay calm. Okay, so whenever you're having a lesson or in the process of having the lessons, it will take you few months to learn. Okay, now in those months, every time you go to a lesson or even after the lesson, don't think that driving is a burden. Stay calm in every situation, whether you are in a lesson or outside the lesson. When you think of learning, when you think of driving, stay calm. That will give you a bigger picture. On the journey of learning to drive and for you to pass the driving test, make sure you stay calm as much as you can. Stay patient as much as you can. Okay? Even if it's taking a little time, you need to stay calm. You need to be patient. Because if you're not patient, you're going to lose the calmness. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be anxious. You're going to have anxiety. And all those things are going to creep in. When you come to the lesson, keep your problem outside your car. Don't bring the problem in the car. We all have problems in life, okay? Just because you have a problem doesn't mean you bring that problem to this learning, and then the learning will become even bigger problem for you, okay? So when we have problems in life and when you are learning something new, try to keep that problem outside just for now when you're learning. And then once you've had your lesson, go back to the problem and solve the problem. Remember, if you bring the problem to your lesson, just thinking about your problem, you're going to waste the lesson that you're having and your problem is not going to be solved. So you are wasting the lesson as well as problem is staying as it is. Okay? So if you have a problem, solve the problem before the lesson. If you can't solve the problem, then come into the lesson, leave the problem outside the car, come in, do the lesson, go back to your problem. Because problem is part of life, okay? Just because you have a problem, it doesn't mean that you're going to waste your driving lesson. You solve one problem, there will be another one. So it's not like, oh, I need to solve all the problem and then I'm going to start driving. No, that's not going to happen because life will give you problems. Not just you, everyone. We all have problems in life. So staying calm, being patient will depend how you manage your life. How do you manage the problems you have in life? Okay? Coming to the car and to learn to drive is not easy. It takes energy. It takes thinking. You need to think a lot. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take patience. And you've got a problem in the head. How are you going to think straight? How are you going to stay calm? How are you going to stay patient? Problem is a problem. You have a problem with something. Okay, you're going to solve it. That's fine. But solve it after or before the lesson, not in the lesson. In the lesson, come in full focus, give 100%, stay calm, and you learn quicker. Okay, so number one is to stay calm. Number two is not to be overconfident. Okay, so number one, I say stay calm. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to be overconfident now, because overconfident is going to distract you from learning because you're always thinking, I know better, I know more than I know. Overconfident means something you know, but you're thinking more than you know. And that is actually dangerous in a way because sometimes when you're driving and the road is too narrow, there's no space for you to go. But because you are overconfident, you're just going to push to go. You're either going to take the wing mirror or you're going to hit the car on the right. Or maybe you are going right and there's a car coming from the opposite. They have the priority. But because you are overconfident, the gap isn't big enough, but you're going in front of them. Why? Because you're thinking you could make it. You're overconfident. So as much as you need to stay calm and patient, so the second one, don't be overconfident. You should have the confidence. We all should have confidence when we do something new, especially when you're learning driving. You need to have the confidence because you're going to be driving by yourself eventually. And when you go to the test, you need to show the examiner that you could drive the car by yourself. So you need to have the confidence, but you can't have the overconfident because then you could be in trouble doing something you shouldn't be doing. making decisions that is not realistic, that is not real, because you are overconfident. Okay, so have the confidence, but don't be overconfident. Okay, third, remove distraction on your learning. And it's similar to what I said to one, is that keep your problem outside your car, because that will be distraction for your learning. So any distraction that you have, so if this something needs to be done, which is important, and your driving test is next to it, make sure that thing is not a distraction for your lesson. Don't put your driving lesson secondary and put everything else on priority on the top. Driving needs to have the priority. You need to have a space in your life so you do it without any distraction in life. You need to put the driving lessons, the journey of learning, into the priority in your life. Your life needs to have a space for you to learn to drive. Many times what happens, driving is secondary. It is not important. And that makes the journey of learning more longer, because you think driving is just something which is not important. It's costing you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, and you're not going to give 100%. You're not going to have a space in your life to give a priority to this one. That's stupid, isn't it? That's silly. So remove any distraction that you have in life when you're having lesson. Okay, like I said, problem, leave it outside. Anything you need to do in life, try not to have it whereas it's a distraction for your driving lesson. It shouldn't be something that you need to make an effort. It should be naturally in your life a space for driving. So every week you have one lesson. Everyone in your house should know that you need to go to your lesson and there's no distraction. They're doing their bit. You need to go and do your lesson. You can't have problem in your mind of your life coming to the lesson. That will be distraction. Okay, so when you start the journey of learning, make sure you have a space, you have a time where you are learning and you don't have any distraction. Life problems is not a distraction for you to learn to drive. Number 4, don't blame others for every problem you face in driving. So when you make a mistake, so when you're driving along, try to be responsible. Take your responsibility. If others are making mistakes, just don't blame them and try to overcome the problem. You should overcome the problem by dealing with the problem, by blaming everything on the road, by blaming your driving instructor, by blaming your examiner, because you can't learn, because you have a problem with learning. That is not going to solve your problem. Learning to drive is your problem, not others. When you are on the road, you decided to be on the road. Nobody asking you. Nobody's put a gun in your head and say you need to drive. So for you to drive, you're not going to be alone on the road. You've decided, you've made the decision to be a driver, which means that there are other road users on the road. You'll have cars, you'll have pedestrians, you'll have bike, you'll have motorbike, you'll have many things on the road. They are all part of your journey. They all needs to be there. You need to deal with them. They're going to make problems. You're going to face problems with others on the road. You can't blame others. The reason I say that is because otherwise you're going to be stressed all the time. Somebody is doing something on the road and you are always in the blame. You're always blaming. What's going to happen is you're going to be stressed because you're always going to think, why are they doing that? If you take the responsibility, if somebody makes a mistake, it's their fault. That's fine. But I have decided to be on the road and I knew they're going to make problem. I'm going to deal with that. They made a problem. They run in front of me. I'm going to look at the mirror and I'm going to try to see if I could brake slowly and let them go. Somebody wants to go, let them go. Somebody's opened the door, let them open the door. You look at the mirror, the car behind is too close. So what do? You're going to start blaming them or you're going to deal with the problem? They shouldn't be there, but you've decided to be on the road. You knew there will be a car behind very close. They're going to do that. People's going to do. You can't do anything. What are you going to do? If you see a car behind very close, what are you going to do? Are you going to open the window and start swearing? Or are you going to solve the problem? What are you going to do? It's no point losing your control and be impatient. Just be patient. So what do? So you look at the mirror, car behind is too close, you touch the brake. Just touch it. If you touch the brake, what's going to happen? The red light is going to come on, the brake light. So when that happens, what happens? The car behind is going to brake, the gap is going to be bigger, and you drive on. And that's how you solve the problem. So when something happens on the road or anything in life, when you're driving, stop blaming others. Take responsibility. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. Sometimes it's others' fault. It's just a matter of 2 seconds. You solve it, let them go, and you carry on going. Problem, that's fine, deal with it and drive on. So whatever happens in the journey of learning to drive, and even after you pass your test, try not to blame others for things that you are facing with. The problem you are facing, stop blaming, even if it's their fault. Deal with it and keep going forward. Number 5 is the MSM routine. You need to have that in your life like it's part of your life. For you to be a driver, MSM routine has to be embedded in your soul. It has to be in your thinking. It needs to be in your blood. So you should be doing the MSM routine without thinking. So what is MSM routine? MSM routine is mirror, signal, maneuver. And the maneuver is position, speed, look. So it's actually mirror, signal, and the maneuver is position, speed, and look. So when you're driving on the road, you must have the MSPSL routine in every situation. Going left, going right, roundabouts, dealing with crossroads, moving off, stopping, changing gear. MSM routine has to be in your life throughout your journey of learning, throughout your driving life. Whenever you need to do any maneuver, you need to have the MSM routine in your life. Without the MSM routine, you're not going to be safe, you're not going to keep others safe. MSM routine keeps you safe, keeps others safe. So for example, you want to go next road on the right. So what do? Top and right mirror, signal right, check your position, check your speed, look if it's safe, the final check, and then you go in. Imagine you don't have that in your life. What's going to happen? Going right, is it going to be safe for you? Going left, is it going to be safe for you? Dealing with roundabouts, is it going to be safe for you? Dealing on with crossroads, are you going to be safe? Moving off, stopping, changing gear, are you going to be safe? No. Mirrors, signal, position, speed, and look has to be embedded with your thinking. You should be doing that without thinking. You shouldn't need to think about MSM routine when you're going left and right. It should be just mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. I need to go left, mirror, mirror, signal left, check my position, check my speed, check. It has to be spontaneous. It has to be really quick without even thinking. Your mind should be thinking without even thinking. That's how quick you should be thinking. Okay? And for you to do that, make sure you memorize mirrors, signal, position, speed, and look. Nice, loud, and clear. You should know this by heart. So number 5, MSM, meaning mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. That routine should be mastered, should be memorized, and it should be embedded with your thinking. So you do it without thinking. Okay? So I hope you got the message, and I hope you memorize that so you have it in your life. Number 6 is to manage your speed. The speed when you're driving, you must manage for you to be safe, for you to keep others safe. Remember in the test, you could always fail the test for speeding. You could also fail for going too slow. Why? Because both are dangerous. If you're driving more than the road speed, which means you are speeding, you are dangerous, as well as if you go too less, meaning the road is saying 30 and it is safe for you to do 30, but you are only doing 20. Why is it dangerous? Because you are causing problem for the car behind. You're holding them. And one day one of them is going to get impatient and they're going to start to overtake you, and there will be a car coming and there could be a big problem. Who encouraged that? Obviously, it's their fault. Whatever they do is their action to overtake, but who caused that? Who made them overtake? It's because it's you. Too slow for the road, and you are encouraging them to do something silly. And that's what they did. Okay? So managing your speed when you're driving on a road, always make sure you know the road speed of the road. Okay? So the road that you're going in, make sure you know the speed of the road. As you know, nowadays many roads are 20. Okay? So when you go in, make sure you know it's 20. If it's 20 and it's safe, do 20. If it's 30 and it's safe, do 30. It's not safe, don't do 30. Even if the road is saying 30, but the road condition isn't good enough for you to do 30, you can't do 30. So even on a road which is 30, you could fail for 30, driving 30, because the road condition, maybe parked cars, maybe school run, maybe there are a lot of people around, maybe bike, and you are driving too fast for the condition, for the situation of the road. Even though the road is 30, it doesn't mean you're just going to zoom 30, even though the road has problems. So I hope you understand, going faster than the road speed, you will fail for speeding. Also, if you go too slow, you'll also fail. So the road speed, according to the road condition, is important for you to manage the speed. So managing your speed on your driving is one of the most important for you to be safe and keep others safe on the road. Okay, so manage your speed. Number 7 is to ask questions. When you're learning, always ask questions. If there's something bugging you, if there's something bothering you, if there's something you need clarity on, make sure you ask the question. Because if you don't ask, you won't learn. Remember, when you're learning with the driving instructor, you're not just paying them to teach you learning, you're also paying them to gain their knowledge. They have a knowledge you don't have. So when you go to the lesson, ask the question. And the reason I say that is because many times what I've noticed throughout the years teaching, I've learned is that many learners, they don't ask questions sometimes because they feel it's a silly question. They feel it's a stupid question. So save the embarrassment, they don't ask the question. They think it's embarrassing to ask the question. It's too small. Why should we have both hands on the wheel? If I ask that, maybe he might think or she might think I'm stupid. No, it's not stupid. There is no silly question. There is no stupid question. When you're learning, you are paying for that knowledge they have, which you don't. And the only way you're going to get slice of that knowledge is if you ask. Okay? And we instructors like it when the learners ask questions. Then we know they're learning. Then we know what's in their mind. Remember, we are instructors. We're not telepathic. We can't read your mind. So we give you the answers. We help you what we see from your action. We can't read your mind. We're not telepathic. And the only way we would know is if you ask the question. Then we know where to help, where to ask. One of your questions will make the instructor understand to solve the problem for 10 things. So ask the question, give the opportunity to the instructor to help you on that, as well as if there's anything else you need from that question, they will help you. Okay? So don't be afraid of asking question. Asking question is part of learning. If you don't ask, you don't learn. Okay? So number 7 is to ask. Don't be afraid of asking questions when you're learning to drive. Number 8 is to learn to take breaks. When you're driving, learn to take breaks. Now, what does that mean? You might think, well, what do you mean taking breaks? Does that mean that when I'm in a lesson, I just stop somewhere safe on the left, take a break for 5 minutes? No. When I say learn to take breaks, what I mean is every time you stop on a traffic light, you stop on a queue of traffic, you take the breather. Take the opportunity to take a break in your mind, even for a few seconds. Just take a breather. So if you stop on a traffic light, stop fully, put the handbrake on, go to neutral, and just relax. And then when it's ready to go, get the car ready and go. Trust me, those little breaks will help you in a huge way because it will give you that fresh start again. Otherwise, what happens if you don't learn to take those little breaks, even though you're stopping, but in your mind, you're not taking those little breaks. And because mentally you're not taking those little breaks for seconds, what's happening is the whole journey. So if you're having a lesson for 1 hour or 2 hours, the whole time becomes one part without any break. And what happens? You are feeling stressed, you are sweaty, you need more energy, it makes you tired, makes you stressed. Trust me, I know. Learn to take little breaks. So every time you stop on a traffic light, take a break, little break. Just stop the car, handbrake neutral, get the car ready again, ready to go. You stop somewhere safe on the left, and then take that breathe in, take that deep breath, and let go slowly. Trust me, next time you do that, and then let me know after, does it help? It will definitely for sure will help you with those little breaks. If you're not doing that now, please try that on your next lesson, taking those few seconds break in between whatever you're doing. Do that on your next lesson and then let me know if it helps. Trust me, for sure it will help you. It will make your journey shorter. It will help you learn in chunk rather than whole thing in one go. So learn to take those little breaks for seconds when you're doing the lessons. Trust me, it will help you. It will give you that fresh start every time you do that. Okay? It will give you that breather. It will give you that mental freshness when you are doing it. Okay? So number 8 is learn to take little breaks when you are doing the driving lesson, especially in your driving test. It is really important to take those little breaks in your mind when you are doing something, when you are in your test. So when you are on your driving test, every time you go to a junction and it's busy and you need to stop there for a few seconds, traffic light and it's red, you have to stop, handbrake on neutral. Just do that and see how much it helps you. Then the whole thing doesn't become one thing. It becomes many components with a break in the middle, with a break in between. And that helps you to give you that freshness. Okay? So do that and see if it helps. Trust me, it will, because I know. If you are learning and you need help on learning and passing the driving test, don't forget to take the advantage of our online course. The course gives everything a learner needs to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. It has everything a learner needs. I will leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look and see and read, and if you like it, you could always join the course. Number 9 is to do your homework. Okay? Remember, this driving is your driving. It is not driving instructor's driving. That's his job or her job. They do this for a living. They get paid. It is your job to learn to drive and to pass the driving test and become a driver. And for you to achieve quickly and save money is to do your own homework. Don't just come in the lesson and learn everything in the lesson. Because imagine you're learning everything in the car, then you're going to need more lessons, which means you need more time in the car, which means it's going to cost you more time, which means it's going to cost you more money. If you do your homework and things that bothers you, things that you learn in the lesson, you go home and you study and you learn more, make a note, the things that you've learned, the things that you need to learn, you make notes, you learn from Google, you learn from books, you learn from YouTube channels in your own time. That way, if you gain the knowledge, when you come to the lesson, you don't need that much explaining to do by the examiner, by the instructor. The instructor doesn't have to explain as much in details because you've got the knowledge from home. You've done your homework, you've studied at home, after the lesson, before the lesson. So then when you come to the lesson, you need the knowledge, but you don't need the explaining as much because you're doing your homework. So if I were you, I would carry a notebook from day one. The day that I start my driving lesson, I would come in with a notebook and everything you learn, make a note, go home, make notes, and go back to those notes and keep reading those notes. So MSPSL routine, you've learned that today. What is MSPSL routine? Write that down for you to memorize. Mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. Why do I need to look at the mirror before braking? Why do I need to change gear? What speed is it for which gear? So write those things down, learn those things in your own time. So that when you come into the lesson, you don't need as much explaining, which means less time, you need less money in the lesson. You save a lot of money. Okay, so do your homework is number 9. And number 10 is to make this as a mission. Make this a goal. Without making this a mission, without making this as a goal, it will be difficult or it will take longer for you to learn. Because every problem you face in the lesson, because soon as you make a problem in the lesson, it's going to demotivate you. And because you don't have a goal, you don't have a mission, what's going to happen? You're going to lose interest and you're going to come to the following lesson without any interest. You're just going to lose that lesson. You need to have a goal. You need to have a mission. Why are you learning? What is this lesson going to give you? What is this driving going to give you? What is this license going to give you? What is your goal? You need to make a mission that I could see my driving test over there. I could see my license. All I have to do is go there and grab it, meaning going to the test and pass. So my goal is to go to my test, which is over there. I need to reach over there. For me to reach, I'm going to have problems in life. I'm going to have problems in lessons, which means I'm going to face a lot of corners, a lot of obstacles as I'm learning. I'm going to have bad lessons. Many lessons going to be difficult for me and I'm going to lose my patience. And for me to lift myself and to be motivated and to be inspired, I need to have a mission. I need to have a goal that this license is going to give me a lot of good things in life. It's going to open doors for me. It's going to give me a lot of different opportunities with a license in my life. And for me to get that, I'm going to have problems. I'm going to have to face all those problems of learning. Especially if driving is not your cup of tea. It's going to be even more difficult if you do something wrong in the lesson. You're going to lose your confidence. And for you to lift yourself and have the confidence is to have a goal, is to have a mission in your life that this is what I'm going to get, that I could see my license over there hanging. I'm just going to have to run there and get my license. And how do I do that? I need to learn and go to the test and pass. And learning, I'm going to find difficult sometimes. It's going to have a lot of obstacles. And for me to overcome that, I'm going to make this as a mission. I'm going to make this as a goal. If you do that, even having problems on your learning will overcome. You will find the way to solve the problem mentally. Why? Because you know you're going to get the license at the end. So having a mission, having a goal, this as you're driving to achieve, to pass, will help you, motivate you, even if you have problems on your learning. Okay? And before I finish, just as a bonus, I'm going to give you one more tip. And I always say this before, and I'm going to say again, is to believe you can. Many times, the reason it becomes hard is because we don't believe we can. We believe that, is this for me? Can I do it? Can I do this? Is because they don't have that belief. If you believe you can, you can. Trust me, you're human, which means you are gifted. Every human is gifted. Amongst all the creatures on the planet, humans are the only creatures which is gifted. Why? Because we create things. We make things. No other creation does that. We think, we make, we create. Driving is no different. You will find way to learn. You will find way to learn. You will find way to pass your driving test. Why? Because you are human. You are gifted. You are made with special things. Your thinking process. You as a human, you are a gift to the planet. And you need to start to believe that. Look what others are doing. Many people are doing. Driving can't be that hard for you. You as a human, if you put your mind, make this as a mission, make this as a goal, and if you believe you can, because you're a human. And like I said, you are a gift, and driving you can achieve if you believe. No one's going to come and give you that belief on your plate. No one's going to do that. You need to start to believe you can. And if you believe you can, you will find ways to do it. If you believe you can't, then you're blocking your thinking that you can. You're just putting something in the middle as a block, and you're not thinking any further. You're not thinking that I'm human. This is possible, humanly possible. I could do it. All I need to do is believe I can. I can. If you think you can't, then obviously you are the one who's blocking it. You're the problem. You're the one who's putting something in front of you saying you can't do it. Doesn't matter what others are saying. The whole world could come to you and say you could do it, but you don't believe you can. What's the point? But if the whole world says you can't, if you believe you can because others are doing it, you can too. And that's the last I would say to you. I always say this. I mean, and the reason I say this is because, and I strongly believe that a belief of a person could overcome many problems. Like I said, we are human. If we put the mind for us to do something and we believe we can, we can. If you need extra help on learning to drive and to pass a driving test, don't forget to take the advantage of our online course, which gives everything a learner needs. The course has everything a learner needs for them to learn to drive and for them to pass the driving test. It has more than 30 videos on the course. I will leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look and see and read. If you like it, you could always join the course. Also, there are many learners, they may comment asking for me to share my contact details for them to call me to have a chat with the problem they're facing. Maybe the test is coming up, maybe to lift them up with the confidence, maybe they need something. Now imagine I do that. Do you think that will be humanly possible? Will I be able to help everyone? There are thousands on my channel. Do you think that is humanly possible for me to help everyone? Talk to them individually to help them? It won't be possible. It is not going to be possible for me to share so that I could talk to every single person who wants to talk to me with their problems on the learning to drive. it is not going to be humanly possible. Everything you need to know about driving, about passing the driving test, I'm sharing on my channel, so that all the answers you need is on the channel. But if you still need to talk to someone, if you really need to talk because your test is coming up, because you just need to talk to someone to lift you up with the confidence, if you really need to talk, what I'm doing now is offering a service, is for you to book a call with me to have a 45 minutes talk with the things that you need clarification on. So I'm going to provide that service. If you need it, I will leave a link on the description of the website where you could go and book a call with me for 45 minutes. And the reason, like I said, I'm doing that is for those who really need to talk to me because they've got a problem, because they got a test coming up, because they need to lift their confidence up a bit and talk to someone who knows, who's done it, who's been there. They really need to talk, and this is why I'm offering them this service of booking a call with me for 45 minutes. Like I said, it is not going to be humanly possible for me to talk to everyone who wants to talk to me. There are thousands, millions out there. I won't be able to deal with that with everyone. But like I said, I'm going to leave a calendar for you to book. Look at this space. You could book it yourself the day you want to talk to me, and save that space and do the booking, and I will make that call for you. Okay? I hope this helps. And that's it for this video, and I hope the video helps. If it does, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos. Hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.